You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones.
Climate sensation Greta Thunberg after their frosty encounter at the UN. That icy glare has gone viral. Some are calling it a death stare.
People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
The gross incompetence of adult men and women targeting a climate activist who simply wants to live in, strictly nature-wise, a society they experience in their pre-adolescent and adult years is despicable. After calling out world leaders for lack of urgency to act on the climate crisis, she drew the ire of Donald Trump, a man so deep in bed with fossil fuel companies, he's almost in the bed springs. As Vox's Aaron Rupert notes, to Trump, girls should not be angry about the climate crisis and trying to do something about it. The UN is not the place for them. Perhaps beauty pageants are. And now we have breaking news. Greta's activism has triggered another adult male, and for that, I take you to Grosseto, Italy, lying 14 kilometers from the Tyrrhenian Sea in the central Italian region of Tuscany. It's beautiful. This, however, is not. Allow me to introduce this man, Tommaso Casalini. Casalini went on Facebook to write, "This whore, a 16-year-old can take a pounding. She's at the right age." Per Football Italia's translation, Casalini, a bully, had been a youth soccer coach of Grosseto's Giovanissimi A team. Casalini has been sacked from the club. The team should open an investigation to how he treated his players. My hint is, if he's speaking this way publicly about a young girl, what is he saying to young boys? What is he teaching them? He said, old enough for a pounding? This man should be nowhere near kids with this language. He's now on the public apology tour. I want to publicly apologize to everyone, starting with Greta Thunberg for the Post, an explanation written in my moment of anger against the young Swedish activist with absolutely wrong language and with a content I regret. However, when one makes a mistake, it is right that one takes responsibility for one's mistake, so I willingly accept the decision of us, Grosseto, to lift me from my role. The odd trend? The quantity of adults vexed from Greta. Sebastian Gorka echoed a right-wing talking point. She's brainwashed.
If it were about science, it would be led by scientists rather than by politicians and a mentally ill Swedish child who is being exploited.
The world is waking up, and change is coming whether you like it or not.
Anyone else find that chilling?
A time of tribulation has come. A test is at hand. The final test.
I can't wait for Stephen King's sequel, Children of the Climate.
Millions of school children across America, and in fact around the world, skipped school today. They weren't playing hooky. They were instead participating in a coordinated left-wing political protest. Congratulations on skipping school. In the meantime, though, the left has a backup plan. It's the same as it always has been, propaganda.
Children, notably Nordic white girls with braids and red cheeks, were often used in Nazi propaganda, an old Goebbels technique. Looks like today's progressive left is still learning its game from an earlier left in the 1930s.
And they also had this young girl who was, 16?
Greta Thunberg. I mean,
we're going to ask her about the Fed rate next?
Because she's picking on children.
She's a kid.
Yeah, no,
I'm not picking on her, but she's
children.
testifying about climate change in front of Congress.
She actually...
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the good fashion.
No kid bashing.
An Australian principal even wrote, "My life experience has taught me that the doomsday predators are just attention getters," calling her a little girl with self-declared various emotional and mental problems that she thinks give her a special insight into a pending doom. Concluding with, "Do not be afraid, your world's future is in the hands of God, not in the predictions of a little girl and false prophets." She's ignorant, maniacal, and is being mercilessly manipulated by adult climate bedwetters funded by Putin, ranted C-list climate denier Steve Malloy. Why is Greta getting under the skin of adults? Because normally it would be the other way around. Adults would be giving the orders to the youth on their life's experiences, teaching moments per se, and the tykes would be barred from talking back. The problem with this line of thinking is there will be no future if we do not protect the future. Let that sink in. If you'd like to hear more thought-provoking content like TYT Sports on Facebook and to help in my journey to keep media independent, go to tyt.com/Rick.